away from my daughter's friends.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nice company she keeps.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Means those friends of hers were wailing on a kid half their size. Yeah, maybe you don't know your daughter as well as you think you do. Get your house in order, LaRusso.
Who the hell do you think you're talking to?
Whoa, man, that clip right there, man. Round of applause. That's the scene from the new series Cobra Kai, available now on YouTube Red, and it tells the story based on the Karate Kid film back in 1984, where I too became the Karate Kid because of this movie. Just like when we used to watch all the Bruce Lee movies, and we all turned into Bruce Lee. I turned into Daniel LaRusso, ladies and gentlemen. This is the story 34 years later of Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence. This is a great series.
Woo!
And here with us today, DB, I'm going to let you do the honors.
All right, because I did go to the screening, and they were so kind to give everybody the official headband. A little souvenir. I still didn't open it yet. I'm keeping it for myself. But we have a guy who's been in The Outsiders. He was in, obviously, Karate Kid. He was in My Cousin Vinny. He was in also a dope movie called Crossroads, which if you haven't seen that, you got to watch that movie. We have Ralph Macchio here today.
Hey, Ralph.
Right.
What up, man?
All right, man. Great to be here.
Good to have you here, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. That scene you just referenced, that was the first scene we shot in Cobra Kai.
That was the
first. It was like 34 years later. It felt like yesterday.
You know what's great about this? Because I know we've seen a slew of Karate Kid films, and I was a little like apprehensive at first. Like, what story are they going to tell 34 years later? Is it even going to work? What do these guys look like? Is it going to have that same feel? And, man, you guys nailed it, bro.
Yeah, I listened. Thank you. I'm a big part of it. The three creators of the show have done a great job. They had a very specific vision. I said no for 34 years. I mean, everyone's like, hey, what about this? What about you have a kid and Rocky Balboa has a kid and you get together and you're fighting? I'm like, these pitches I've heard over the years.
Wow.
Everybody, like crazy
Did
stuff.
you really hear that pitch?
I believe it or not, I've heard that pitch. I've heard, you have a kid in trouble and Miyagi's no longer there and but you're in a bad marriage. Everyone has, everyone had their way, and some good writers, but these guys just had a fresh angle in to come in from the door of whatever happened to Johnny Lawrence, whatever happened to the bully. What would a bully be like 40 years later, or 30 years later, and exploring it that way, not unlike with Creed, how they did, how Rocky Balboa. And there's two Rocky Balboa references. I did not intend that, but it was a good movie, and directed by the same director who directed the Karate Kid. That was an interesting angle in from the Apollo Creed's son, and then you meet Rocky Balboa through that way. And in Cobra Kai, that's sort of the angle in, and these guys who wrote this and created the concept were such big Karate Kid fans. It's like Star Wars to them, and yet they wrote films like Harold and Kumar franchise and Hot Tub Time Machine. So they were able to write for a now fresh, relevant generation, yet pay homage and respect to the legacy of what the Karate Kid was, and they really matched that tone. And on top of that, the series Cobra Kai has a lot of gray areas where Karate Kid was very black and white, good and evil. Into the complexity and dimension of the characters in Cobra Kai, even the kids, the next generation of kids, and with Zabka and myself, there are flaws. Sometimes your allegiance is with one and not the other.
Yeah.
Sometimes LaRusso comes off a little douchey there, and then needs to find the balance again without Mr. Miyagi. So it's great stuff.
Yeah, LaRusso does come off kind of obnoxious and just.
Well, they also set that's clearly cut that way for the arc of season one. There's a decent amount of bad guy in Johnny Lawrence. That does not go away.
Yeah.
He's not changing the color of the horse, even though he's trying to redeem himself.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him though.
Yeah, no, they set that up, and listen, that's what's complex about it. Just because a guy's there are some bullies that turn into adults and are just jerks all through life, but there's usually where did this manifest itself, and they would explore that, and also explore what the difference of bullying back in 1984 and what it is in 2018. LaRusso comes home with a black eye. His mom's like, okay, what happened? What's going on? Now you can know what's going on with your kids. You have it's all silent. It's all phones. Technology has changed that. But more so than all these serious points I'm making, the show is highly entertaining.
Good. Yeah, it's very entertaining.
It's highly entertaining and fun and funny, just from the fact that these 50-year-old guys will not let it go.
Yeah. And I was curious about you because you play such a iconic role with Daniel LaRusso. LaRusso, and we had Mark Hamill on here recently, and we were talking about him playing Luke and
What is he from?
no, Star Wars. You may
Yeah, I
have
got
seen
you.
this, And did he ever try to shy away from it at all? Because you obviously have had a fruitful career. I was a big Outsiders fan as well. You didn't necessarily take the sex symbol route that Tom Cruise and all those guys did.
Yeah, I just had trouble convincing anyone.
Yeah. But in the process, man, did you have any ups and downs in your career?
For sure.
Yeah?
For sure. And you always do, and I will tomorrow. Right now, I'm in the ups. It's just the ebbs and flows of it, and certainly being associated with a character that has become such a piece of pop culture and an iconic character and an inspirational character to kids of all ages. You get pigeonholed into that. And the fact that I chose to look young for a long period of time, I'm still working on it.
You got it, baby. You got it held down, man.
But that sort of did not help sort of branching out into more serious adult roles. And it was, it was a long haul there, but I just, that's when I jumped behind the camera a little bit, did some directing, did some writing, producing, and then certain things happened, threw in a Dancing with the Stars in the middle of it, which actually ignited some other stuff because it was just the right time, and now I'm on this show concurrently with Cobra Kai. I'm on The Deuce on HBO, which we're doing season 2 on, which is really, really
Deuce,
cool.
baby.
So now all that stuff is starting. I'm coming out of that into a good. It's an exciting time.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thanks, man.
I just want to know because being a fan of not only the first one but the sequels as well, and you and Johnny seemed like William Zabka seemed like such arch rivals and nemesis and things like that. Were you guys really close off camera? Like, was it a complete opposite of what it was portrayed to be in the film?
It was not a complete opposite.
Oh wow!
Really?
But no. We got along just fine. But mind you, anytime I worked with him, I was getting my ass kicked. So it's like, and then we also trained separately. Like Pat Johnson, who was our stunt coordinator and martial arts choreographer, he plays the referee in the movie, wearing a red shirt that says referee, so we know who he is.
Okay.
And he would train Pat Morita and myself in this sort of classic Okinawan style of all those karate for defense only theory, and then he would train Zabka and Marty Cove and all the Cobra Kai in that very aggressive style. So we rehearsed together in the fight sequences, but I never really had many dialogue scenes with them. Anytime I was working with Billy, I was taking a kick to the head or faking it.
Wow.
So they were still, in a weird way, they were the Miyagi part of it and the Elizabeth Shue part of it was always the areas and the people I hung out with more. And over time, Billy and I have become friends, especially in the last 10 years when the pop culture relevance of whole Cobra Kai thing and was the kick illegal and justice for Johnny and all this internet talk created. We'd have fun with that, and we do if we ever do a panel or something like that. We rib each other. But there's a mutual respect. He's very, very good in the show, which is important. I need him. I said, I need you to be good in the show, man. We both have to be good. So it's a lot of fun.
I know in Bruce Lee's reign, he was always challenged by other martial artists who didn't, because he became such a big movie screen star, people didn't think that he really had the prowess in martial arts that he has, so he would get challenged constantly. Did you guys get backlash or challenged at all by other? I
think he got more than me because I think they would see that I was the 98-pound weakling and they just feel bad. They look at me like, there's no way you could be that good. You had one kick, dude.
You one kick, right?
You got one kick, and you don't have your human Yoda next to you and Mr. Miyagi, So no, I never. I was told that when we were shooting the film, the guy who was the first assistant director, he did Rocky with John Avildsen. And he said, Stallone's always getting, challenged. So you got to, be worried about it. It never happened to me.
Never happened to you? They would see you in person?
They took one look and they're just, please. Oh, please.
Now, if you had to do like a talk for, let's just say it's a TED Talk or whatever, and it had to be about the power of letting go, because a lot of people, even as they mature, can still be frustrated at someone for something that really stung. And we all know that it's like, wanting to poison someone, but it's really poisoning yourself. What have you learned about letting go of rivalries? Like, is it for men? They just do need to duke it out. Like, what is it?
Right. Listen, it's interesting because a lot of people ask me what the difference between Daniel LaRusso and Ralph Macchio is. And Daniel LaRusso is definitely, we're very similar, but he has more of a feisty, knee-jerk, a little bit of a temper. I'm not going to back down. That's what got him in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He puts the hose on Johnny Lawrence when he's rolling a joint. He starts and then he gets his ass kicked at the fence on Halloween night. Ralph probably wouldn't have done that. Ralph would probably say, this guy kicked my ass once.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight. So I'm a little bit more analytical, maybe more than a little bit, but LaRusso makes a much better movie character.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I also don't, it's like when athletes talk about, you see an athlete do something stupid on the field. I'm a professional, whether it's a football player, baseball player, hockey player, whatever. And I don't come from that I hear about that mindset where you get to that place and you're at that level and you're amped up and someone does something, you go off.
Yeah.
I've had moments like that in my life, but I don't really have that gene where I just go to a DEFCON 5 where I have no, but I understand that's part of the animal that many of us are. Watch right now, I start turning over the
No, Ralph, you're a lover, not a fighter.
I try. I fall short. I fall short on both.
All right. Ralph Macchio is here, man. The new series is called Cobra Kai. It's available now. You can see it now on YouTube Red. We're gonna open up the phone lines, man. This guy's an icon, and he's here on Sway in the Morning. 888-742-33. Man, we got him here with us, man. Ralph Macchio is here. Starting a new series, Cobra Kai, available now on YouTube Red. I had a chance to watch it, man. It's just really good. It's a great storyline. It makes sense. You guys look good. You and Billy look great. Let me ask you, man, how did y'all know it was a hit? That the Karate Kid would be a hit. What was that standout moment, that benchmark of the movie that you knew, wow?
There was a sneak preview like a month before it came out. It was the end of May because that film came out June 22nd in 1984. I know it because I have the poster up and it says June 22nd. Okay. People be like, God, let it go, man. Move on. Move on.
You're still living it, man.
Yeah, just let it go. But a sneak preview up on the Upper East Side of New York, and it was the first time I ever saw the movie. The producer was there, the late, great Jerry Weintraub, and John Avildsen, the director, and some of my family. And there was a packed theater, and people were just like in every second of it. It was sort of like out-of-body experience for me because I was just that kid, and they were on his shoulders just on that journey. That all felt great and good, and it was like, wow, they're cheering and all that stuff. But when we came outside on 2nd Avenue, everybody on the street was doing the crane. Everybody. Like a 10-year-old kid, a 50-year-old guy, a mom or whatever. And the producer said, we're going to be making a couple of these.
He already knew that day.
He just said, right now, we're going back. And so that was before the movie came out, was the moment that I always equate it to you come out of a great musical or you listen to an album and you can't stop singing that song, that hit number, or the 11th hour musical thing that you can't get out of your head. And that was the crane kick.
That was the crane kick. So if you could just guesstimate how many times you've had to do that crane kick pose since you first did it in 84.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of, listen, how many times I've been asked or in the hundreds of millions?
Really?
How many times that I've taken the stands? Very few.
Very
few. And it's kind of cool because I keep it that
you keep
that
way. Mystery to it.
It's good. I did it in a video. I did a video that I made with Funny or Die called Wax On, F Off. Although I am on Sirius Radio, so you know.
You can go ahead, man. You can say
Wax
me.
On, Fuck Off.
Yeah,
the greatest 4 minutes of your day.
Yes.
I poke fun at myself and I pull out the crane in that. It's fun. And I just did it on the for Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight Show, and it got a big big laugh. We made a joke out of it. It was a lot of fun.
They got a big kick out of it.
But
Hey, what do your kids think
I'm a
of it?
dad. I'm a dad. That's a dad joke that I would go
I'm a dad too, bro.
Yeah,
okay. What do your kids think of it when they see it? They go, Dad, this is corny, or wow, that's great?
I think they're in their 20s now, which is just stupid but true. Wow. I'm only 28, so and this is weird.
Early.
But so yes, it's the dad joke segment. But they are proud.
Okay.
They are they're better at the Instagram, Twitter supporting this new show. They love the Cobra Kai show. They love that I'm on the Deuce and doing something really cool with HBO and so. But there were a couple of years when between say the Karate Kid, Outsiders, My Cousin Vinny stuff, which all happened before we were born, and then when I was doing like maybe not the greatest stuff, they'd be like, "Ugh, you going with that face?" And that's, I mean, and not the left. You got to watch. You make that face. That's that face. Like when you're mad at me for not doing the homework, don't use that face, or tell them to stay wider because it just doesn't. It's great.
Wow.
So we just and I'm very close to both my kids, so it's nice to have that playfulness.
That's amazing.
So when
man.
they like something like the stuff now, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, because they're honest about it.
They let it out there.
I'm just curious. Sway mentioned about how iconic the Karate Kid is, and I agree. And then it made me automatically think of Jaden Smith because he has that song out, Icon. For artists, when someone does your song over, you kind of very critical. You're listening for every little thing. When Jaden and his, did your film over, how did you kind of receive that? Did you watch it, carefully? Were you critical? Were you just what was it like for you?
That's a great question, and I get asked it all the time. And but it's I enjoy elaborating on that because when I first heard they were remaking the Karate Kid, initially it's like, first of all, it's not been that long. How do they remake my crap?
Yeah.
So that was
That's
disturbing.
real.
That
Yeah.
like I'm at a place that there is another generation. So it's sort of like it's like when you hit 40 or whatever.
Yeah.
So initially my knee jerk was, because they can't come up with anything else, and they're all doing the next for how are they going to flip that on its ear so it's fresh and original. And I remember I was at the Sundance Film Festival, and when I first heard about it, and someone asked me, and I said, well, I'm not a big believer in remakes. I like to go see movies and watch entertainment that I don't know what's going to happen. So so the next day it was Macchio slams Smith's remake.
Oh gosh.
So then the phone rings 2 days later. It's Will Smith. He's like, I know I'm messing with you, baby. I know this is, but it's with utmost respect and homage. He was very cool. He put Jaden on the phone. I felt very much like Obi-Wan talking to young Skywalker.
Yeah.
And it was very cool. He says, any part of it, you want to be a part of it and all this stuff. But I just chose to, and I told him respectfully, I said, listen, go out and make your movie. It makes more sense for me to just stand back, allow the legacy of the original to be that. I didn't want,
to overshadow it.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So it's also, I also felt that if it failed and I put myself involved in some way, then I could
may blame
taint the legacy.
Yeah,
Well, but in the end, I did go to the premiere of it in L.A., which was nice. They invited me to come, which was great, and I brought my son. Who went kicking and streaming at first. He's like, oh, come on. But then I said, you're going to meet Will Smith. He's like, okay, I'll get on the plane. And it was a great night. I also had the Wax On Fuck Off video coming out in 2 days. So I used that red carpet from my own. I figure you're piggybacking my legacy. I'm going to piggyback your legacy.
Yeah.
And the bottom line with the remake is I think they did a great job in 2010 in the video game, because it was like video game fighting. And he was a ninja. From the difference between Daniel LaRusso and the character that Jaden played is LaRusso is one of those guys that had no business winning anything. Right. In a way, he was the every kid next door. And so the wish fulfillment element and all those aspirational elements that have stood the test of time, and we're talking about 34 years later, that's a magic fairy dust that you either have. Those moons are in proper alignment or they're not. Yeah. And so I think as an entertainment, they did a very good job of taking the exact same story but making a completely different movie. I mean, which one do I favor? Let's not even go there.
Okay.
But, and are they talking about that movie in 34 years? Not so sure.
Okay, that's what's up, man.
But there's my respect on that one.
Ralph Macchio is, throwing shade. All right.
Shade 4-5.
All right, we got Jeremy on the line from Texas. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
What's going on, y'all? Can y'all hear me? I'm in a bad area.
Now we can hear you. Go ahead. Say hello to Ralph.
Cool. What's up, Ralph?
How you doing, man?
I am excellent. I just wanted to tell you, just like they referred to the word icon, when you make so many movies, whether it's, the character of Johnny from Outsiders or, of course, Danny LaRusso or Was it Billy and My Cousin Vinny?
Billy Gambini, yes, sir.
That's it, Billy Gambini. When you make those characters and you have so many lines that in everyday situations, literally movie lines just run through your head that you could respond to in every situation over and over, it's just, especially growing, my generation that was born in the late 70s that was that age when The Outsiders came out, when The Karate Kid came out, it became a part of like the fabric of what you grow up with. So it definitely is truly iconic. So it's selfish why I'm calling, because I just wanted to say, yeah, I called and talked to the Karate Kid.
That's awesome. All day long, man. That's good. That never gets old. And, when you look at those three movies that you referenced, I mean, I'm pretty lucky. I think I did the job and I delivered. But the fact that, the Two Utes, or I Shot the Clerk, or Stay Gold Pony Boy and Do It for Johnny, or Wax On, Wax Off, or in the American Lexicon, that's a gazillion to one, man. I'll take it, and I really appreciate that call.
Hey, Jeremy, and then make sure you check out Cobra Kai. It's on YouTube Red. YouTube Red. It's available now. All right.
Yeah,
I saw the trailer the other day. Shout out to my neighbor who wears a Cobra Kai Body Bags T-shirt all the time.
That's right. Well, all 10 episodes, you can binge them anytime. The first 2 are free, and then you go from there. But you'll have a lot of fun.
All right, man. You're a citizen, Jeremy.
Let's wait in the morning.
George is in L.A. What up, George?
Jorge.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Well, good morning. Good morning. Say hello to Ralph.
Hey, what's going on, Ralph? Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I just wanted to know what was going on with the movie Crossroads.
I
wanted to say that's one of the coolest movies ever when I was younger. I love that movie, man. I've been playing guitar ever since.
That's great. I was going to ask you, my question was going to be, are you a musician? Because musicians love that film. There's some great cutting head scene in there, a couple of them, and some great blues by Ry Cooder, Steve Vai just kicking butt.
Yeah.
It's Jack Butler. That's a great gunfight, that guitar duel at the end. I mean, I know a lot of guitar players just try to master that Eugene's Bag of Tricks. A great looking film too. I'm really proud of that movie. I always had wished that Columbia Pictures had done like more of a advanced release, more options and ways to see that film. I got that Telecaster, though. I got that at home.
Damn. Hey, George, thanks for your call, man. All right?
Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Tommy is in Cali. We'll take one more call. Tommy,
what's up, Tommy?
What up, Tommy?
Tommy.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sway, this is me. I just met you at the Kaya Festival, walking out the bottom of the concert. Just glad to you made it back to the city, and you're back here for us in the mornings. And glad to be a citizen.
Yes, I did. Yeah, how you doing, Tommy? Kaya Fest is a music festival put together by the Marley family. Mm-hmm. So all the Marleys show up, Lauryn Hill, the whole nine. I was just there this weekend hosting it. Okay, good to hear.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Glad you guys made it out.
Thank you.
So, just want to tell Ralph that I'm a generational lover of you. I have made my daughter love you, and I have made my mom love you. My mom and dad watch My Cousin Vinny every time it's on, and we are big Johnny fans. We're gonna do it for Johnny. So. We're Daniel LaRusso fans and Johnny from The Outsider fans, and we just want to say that we love you, and we're still glad that you're around and bringing stuff to us. You're a very underrated actor, and us kids from the 80s still appreciate you, dude. So thank you for coming out and talking to us, and it's glad to hear from you. So
that's great. Thank you so much, man. I can't. Who doesn't take that for a cup of coffee in the morning? I appreciate it. Well, I really do. Thanks,
Tommy. You're a citizen.
It's way in the morning.
Wow, Ralph Macchio is here. Am I saying that correctly, man?
No, but I like the way you put the you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Okay,
I think it was the coffee that threw him
Ralph Macchio.
There you go.
There you go. All right, there you go, man. I had to work on that, baby. I know I was destroying it, but
nah, it's all good.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. I grew up with you, man. So it's good to see you doing well. I'm glad your family is well, and you continue to succeed. It's a testament to your talent, man.
Thank you,
your dedication, bro. Good to see you, man. You're looking great too.
Always friendly to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Cobra Kai available now on YouTube Red, man. Make sure y'all check that out. Sway in the Morning, Shade 45. This is Jaden Smith. It's called Icon. You know this song, Ralph?
Yeah, I know it now.
He can out-rap you, bro.
It's Sway in the Morning, only on Shade 45.